What's up, and welcome to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. I'm your host, Kat Kozad, manifestation expert, money mindset and fulfillment coach, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur. Come sit with me while I spill the real tea on what it's like to practice using intentional manifestation, demystify all of the woo-woo and confusing bullshit that comes along with creating the life of your dreams, and give you a realistic view of what it's like to be on a personal, spiritual, and professional growth journey. The goal of this podcast is to support and guide you towards manifesting all of your dreams, shed light on the things that people are too scared to talk about, and encourage you to become the person who gets to have it all, be it all, and do it all. I am so happy you are here. Let's fucking do this thing. What's up, loves? Welcome back to another episode of the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. Oh my goodness, it has been way too long since I recorded a podcast episode, and if you follow along with the podcast, I deeply apologize for the fact that there hasn't been a podcast over the past week. If you listen to the past podcast episode, you will know that I have canceled my flight back to the US and made the decision to stay in the UK until the end of the year and book a place to live in London. And if you're watching the video of this, you will see in the background of me this beautiful place that I've rented. But if you're listening to the podcast, then you won't see it. Also, side note, we're already off to a start here. You are now going to be able to watch the podcast on YouTube, and stay tuned for that because that will be up very shortly. And the podcast also now has its own Instagram profile where we're going to be creating incredible reels and delivering really great content over on the Instagram to accompany the podcast. So be sure to check out the show notes down below for the podcast Instagram, and I will give you another update here on the podcast very soon for when you can catch these episodes on YouTube as well. But as for right now, you're definitely just going to be listening to the podcast. But oh yes, to get back on track, I have rented a place here in London. It's absolutely gorgeous, and with all of it, I've just been traveling so much and moving and getting moved in and exploring my new neighborhood and getting used to where everything is and whatnot. So it has distracted me a little bit from the podcast, but we are back and we are going to be better than ever. So many incredible things to come in the future of the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. And we have our 1-year anniversary coming up on September 8th, just in a few days. So there will be a podcast episode out on the 8th chatting all about the year anniversary and what you can expect from the podcast moving forward. But on this podcast episode, I want to talk about having an unconventional mindset and how that's actually going to be super beneficial for you in manifesting your dream life. And this has come to my mind because I've been doing so much reflecting for myself recently. I've been reflecting on the past 3 years and what has allowed me to manifest my dream life in such a short amount of time. Because if you have listened to the podcast, you may know this, but I hired my first manifestation coach in September of 2019. It was September 21st, 2019. So almost at the year anniversary of that as well. Not year, 3 year. Fucking crazy. But with that, it's definitely led me to a lot of reflection. And this time of year always brings up a lot of reflection for me. But within the past 3 years, it's been so powerful to recognize that what has led me to manifesting my dream life has been having an unconventional mindset and unconventional approach of how to get here. Which means essentially like what has allowed me to manifest my dream life has been thinking, acting, feeling, and being different than what we are conditioned to have be do in our society. Because essentially Society gives us a prescribed path of what to do and what to follow. Typically, it's grow up, go to school, finish school, go to college, get a degree, get a good job, find a partner, settle down, buy a house, have kids, so on and so forth. And if you have that life right now and you're happy, that is fucking fabulous. But I can imagine if you're listening to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show, there's part of you that wants something different. And with saying that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the prescribed path. I know so many people in my life that have followed the prescribed path that are incredibly happy. And for me, it just didn't work. And maybe for you listening, it just doesn't work for you either. Maybe you followed that path and it didn't work for you, or you felt as though you never fit into that path and it didn't work for you. But regardless, when it comes to attracting and manifesting the life of your dreams, following that path isn't necessarily going to bring you what you want or serve you. Because following that prescribed path is going to give you a very average life. It's going to give you what majority of people have, because majority of people follow this path. We're just given that path and told to walk down it and said that if you check all of these boxes, then like you're going to be happy and you're going to have that success, but ultimately has played out a lot of the very traditional paradigms and like things that people feel stuck in. And therefore, again, coming back to manifesting the life of your dreams, attracting and manifesting everything that you desire, it's going to require you to have an unconventional mindset. It's going to require you to act in unconventional ways. So what do I mean by this? What I mean by this is that in order to attract and manifest your dream life, you have to get clear, first of all, on what that life looks like for you. Do you want more money? Do you want mind-blowing love? Do you want fame? Do you want success? Do you want to travel all around the world? Do you want, like, what is it that you want? Getting super clear on that and recognizing that the way that you're thinking about things right now, the way that you're acting right now, the way that you're feeling right now isn't going to get you there. It's not going to get you what you want for this like vision of your dream life, because it's gotten you what you have now. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your behaviors, your emotions, your actions right now have created the life that you have right now. And in order for you to have something different, you have to change those things. You have to look at money in a different way. You have to look at risk taking in a different way. You have to look at your daily choices in a different way. You have to be more deliberate with the people that you are spending time with, where and what you're putting your energy and time and focus and attention into, and really start to shift those things. Because the reality is, and if you listen to the podcast, you've heard me say this a bajillion times, in order for us to have a different life, we have to do different things. In order for us to live a life that we've never had, we have to do things that we've never done. And that requires you to have an unconventional mindset that has unconventional behaviors in times that it would be easier to follow the prescribed path. It would be easier to just go with what society has told us to do and walk down that path instead, and really stepping into this position of power inside of yourself instead, and being like, you know what? No, like I don't actually want that for myself. And because I don't, that means that I'm going to look at and approach life from a completely different energy. And so for me, over the past 3 years, this has really gone in different phases. And this is something that I talk to my clients inside of the Abundant AF Babe Academy about all the time, which is called the ladder of believability. It's something that I like to call the ladder of believability, which is like really climbing this ladder to get to the next level version of yourself step by step. So when you are creating some sort of change in your life, you're wanting to manifest the life of your dreams, you're not going to go from like being dead ass broke, almost homeless, working a job that you hate, in unfulfilling relationships, all around just like feeling less than happy, and like not even that, like almost miserable in your circumstances, to cloud nine, dream life, dream car, dream house, dream partner, fuck tons of money, millions sitting in the bank account, like living the dream life, having the dream career, all of those different things in one step, because that would be a massive, massive energetic shift, and your subconscious mind wouldn't feel safe enough to do that. Because in order for us to actually create shift and change in our lives, we have to cultivate internal safety for us to get to that place. So going back to the ladder of believability, it's really breaking it down into bite-sized pieces where you can slowly but surely start to climb this ladder piece by piece, bit by bit, action by action, to get to that place where you've manifested this big, beautiful life that you're wanting for yourself. And for me, like I said, all of this came in like different layers, different phases, and who I wanted to become and what I wanted to manifest at the beginning of my manifestation journey is so different than who I am now and what I want to manifest for myself now, because I took those steps on the ladder of believability. I manifested that first thing that I wanted. And then from that place, new awarenesses, new levels of myself had been open. So I was able to continue to take those steps up. So to put this into kind of like perspective and give you an example is like when I first started my intentional manifestation journey, I was working 60 plus hours a week in a job that I absolutely hated, not making enough money to survive, working in the food and beverage industry, and like just was so over working in the food and beverage industry. I had been for a really long time, but I didn't think that I could do anything else because I was a college dropout. And I had little to no self-worth, little to no confidence, and truly just felt like a victim to my life, almost always. And through the beginning stages of my intentional manifestation journey and healing journey, what I wanted for myself was to finally feel okay inside of my skin, to like finally feel like I could wake up in the morning and be like, okay, I can do today. And once I had gotten to that place, that first peg on the ladder of believability, new levels had been open to me. And through that, I was like, okay, like what's a step up from here? What's the next thing that I want for myself? And at that point, it became abundantly clear to me that I wanted to teach people about manifestation, teach people about this healing, because it had transformed my life in such a short amount of time. And so I just started posting about it on my Instagram. People started reaching out to me saying that they wanted my help with it. And the universe led me and guided me to starting this business. And then once that level had been achieved, I wanted to take it to the next level, which was becoming a successful online coach that was making at least $10,000 a month, making a massive impact in the lives of other people. And that was a fucking jump for me. I had no clue what that reality could or would look like, because I had been so used to what my reality was at that time, which was, like I was saying, little to no self-worth, like crawling out of that, really changing my life, but ultimately still really being in the mindset, still being in the belief system of what was true for me in the past, because that is all I had known. And in order for us to oftentimes have this new path of how to move forward, how to create the things that we want in our lives, we have to look to the people who have them. So for me at that time, that looked like reaching out to and investing in my first business coach and choosing to learn from her, because she had started her coaching business and had manifested, I think it was like $36,000 in her first month in business. And like, that was fucking epic to me. And she was essentially who I wanted to become. She had the confidence, she had the business, she had the money, she had the lifestyle that I wanted. So I chose to learn from her. And through listening to her and being in her energy it truly opened me up to the fact of like, whoa, she doesn't think about things, she doesn't talk about things, and she doesn't do things the way that society teaches us to. She really thinks outside of the box. She really sees money in a way that I have never heard anybody think about money in the past. She really invests in herself in ways that I've never seen people do before. And through that, she completely energetically opened me and gave me this perspective of like what was possible. And through all of that, and then implementing it back into my life, getting super clear on that vision that I had for myself and what I was wanting to create, then I was able to start to get into energetic alignment with those new teachings, with that unconventional mindset and those unconventional actions, which then completely shifted my set point of attraction from where it had been and what it was attracting and manifesting into a greater vibrational field, and raised my set point of attraction up to the place where I was calling in higher vibrational experiences into my life, which ultimately, if you've listened to the podcast, you've also heard this, but I launched my business in January of 2020, and by March of 2020, I had my first 10K month. So just massive quantum leap, because I decided that going into this business and like having the energy and the mindset and the emotions and the behaviors behind it, I wasn't going to go in with like the traditional societal script of like, business is going to be hard. You're not going to make money. You're going to have to hustle your ass off, X, Y, and Z. I was like, fuck that. Like, that conventional way of thinking sounds like it's going to limit me. That conventional way of thinking sounds like it's going to keep me really fucking stuck. And like, no, thank you. I'm not available for that. I want something so much more than that. And so with that, then I took the unconventional energy, unconventional mindset, unconventional behaviors into it and manifested unconventional results. And moving forward, my life has just continued in that pattern. I've seen what I've wanted a step up from where I'm at, like big stretches from where I'm at, quantum leap to new places in my life. But ultimately, it's been the same pattern and same mindset as I've gone throughout all of it, is like, learn from the person who has what I want and get in their energy, learn the unconventional things that they are doing, and then bring it back to my own life and embody that, because that is what's actually going to allow me to create the massive shifts that I want to create for myself, as opposed to the shit that's just going to keep me stuck and like keep me in this very traditional societal average life of like, you're going to have to work hard. And then once you work hard, then you're going to get 2 weeks paid vacation. And then you're going to have weekends off, and you might meet your soulmate, and then you might do this and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Again, if you followed that path, completely fine for you. It wasn't for me. And so what I'm saying with all of this is essentially, if you want to manifest the life of your dreams, you're going to have to approach life in a completely different way than what the world has taught you to do. Because what the world has taught you to do has given you the reality that you have now. And if you do not want the reality that you have now, you have to change things. Not going to sugarcoat it whatsoever. You have to change things. You have to change things to get different results. Things must be different in order for you to get something different. So one of the biggest things that I took away from one of the first coaches that I worked with was this life-changing piece of advice that truly has changed the course of my life. Never take advice from someone that you wouldn't be thrilled to trade lives with. Because the reality is that if you wouldn't be thrilled to trade lives with them, then the way that they think, the way that they act, the way that they approach life isn't going to get you what you want. And I know that this can be challenging, especially when we have wounds that make us look for and search for validation in external sources, look to our dads, look to the men in our lives, look to our moms, look to whoever, and be like, I need validation in order to feel confident in the fact that I'm doing the right thing. But the reality is like, if you wouldn't be thrilled to trade lives with your dad, if you wouldn't be thrilled to trade lives with your mom, with your sister, with Sally down the road, with your teacher from 6th grade, from whoever the fuck it was that gave you this advice, then like leave that advice at the door, because that advice isn't going to give you the life that you desire to have. And the other thing with this too is like, everybody has their own definition of like what happiness and what success looks like for them. So within this of like approaching your life and creating your dream life, asking for advice or validation or support from people who don't understand your definition and don't support your definition or your vision, you're not going to get the answer that you want. So you might as well seek out the people who actually have what you want, because they're going to get it, versus the people who are going to do everything they can to try and protect you, because majority of the time it is coming from a place of love. They want to protect you. They want to make sure that you're going to be okay. They don't want you to do anything stupid. But the reality is like, if you only look to the mindsets, the opinions, the judgments, whatnot of people who don't have what you want, you're going to stay stuck in patterns that you don't want for yourself, versus really finding those people who do have what you want and learning from them, because that is what is going to allow you to move the needle forward and manifest the life that you want, manifest all of the good. And like I said, that's exactly what I've done time and time again. And that's what I now get to help other women with inside of the Abundant AF Babe Academy, is like helping them understand that the traditional mindset, the path, the script, the rule book that they've been given isn't working for them anymore. It's not fucking working. If it was, they'd have all of the money, they'd have all the love, they'd have all the abundance, all the success, all of the things that they want. But the reality is like, if you don't, your current script isn't working for you. And you have absolutely nothing to lose by shifting that script, shifting your energy, shifting your behaviors into something else, something so much more supportive than what you have for yourself right now. So yeah, all of that to say that in order for you to live your dream life, it's going to require you to think differently, act differently, feel differently, and be different than the average person. And your willingness to stray from the crowd, your willingness to allow your heart's desires and your passions to be so much louder than the need for validation or for the need to fit in, feel normal, whatever it may be, is going to allow you to move through all of the things that have been keeping you stuck in your current circumstances and manifesting the shit that you don't necessarily want into your life, so that you can elevate into the place where you're taking these quantum leaps and you're manifesting all of the things that you desire into your life. And with all of that being said, this is exactly what I teach you inside of the Abundant AF Babe Academy. I teach you this different way of being and really defining for you what it is that you want and how to actually manifest it so that you can live that dream life. So if you have been feeling called to join the Abundant AF Babe Academy, I have just a few spots available for the month of September, and there's already plenty of people on the wait list. So hit the link down below in the show notes to apply to the Abundant AF Babe Academy. Hop on a call with me, see if this is a good fit for you, because holy shit, let me tell you, since launching ABA 2.0 last month, oh my God, I cannot even begin to express to you the shifts and the manifestations that have come together for these women. It is fucking incredible. I'm not surprised in the slightest, because the work that we do is absolutely life-changing, but it's just so fucking cool to see it happen for the women that decided to take that leap and use intentional manifestation to change their lives forever. So if you are ready, if you are that woman who is ready to change your life forever with intentional manifestation and actually have the guidance from somebody who has done it herself and has completely blown all expectations for myself and for my life out of the water time and time again, then you will want to hit that link down below and apply to the Abundant AF Babe Academy. And I think that's all I have for you on this podcast episode. But like I said, there is an Instagram account for the podcast now. You will be able to watch this video on YouTube very soon. And I'm just so grateful for all of you. It's so crazy that we're almost at 1 year of the podcast, but we'll chat about that on Thursday. And I'm sending you all of my love. I'll chat with you soon. Oh my gosh. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I'm so grateful to have these no bullshit talks with you. If you enjoyed today's episode or the podcast as a whole, please spread the love by leaving me a review on iTunes or sharing the podcast with others. This is how I will be able to spread more of these good vibes and be able to make more of an impact on the lives of others. And if you're not already part of all of the goodness and communities that I have to offer, check out the show notes. I have links to the different ways that I can support you on your manifestation journey and help you live a life full of more money, fulfillment, and freedom. But that is all for now. So big love and hugs, and I will chat with you soon, babe.